जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना
मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि
मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि
न चाहन्तेष्वस्थितः
न चाहन्तेष्वस्थितः
न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि
न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि
पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्
पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम्
भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो
भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो
ममात्मा भूतभावनः
ममात्मा भूतभावनः
यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यम्
यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यम्
वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान्
वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान्
तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि
तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि
मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय
मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय
प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम्
प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकाम्
कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि
कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि
कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्
कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्
प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य
प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य
विसृजामि पुनः पुनः
विसृजामि पुनः पुनः
भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम्
भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम्
अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्
अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्
न च मान्तानि कर्माणि
न च मान्तानि कर्माणि
निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय
निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय
उदासीनवदासीनम्
उदासीनवदासीनम्
असक्तन्तेषु कर्मसु
असक्तन्तेषु कर्मसु
मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः
मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः
सूयते सचराचरम्
सूयते सचराचरम्
हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय
हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय
जगद्विपरिवर्तते
जगद्विपरिवर्तते
अवजानन्ति मां मूढा
अवजानन्ति मां मूढा
मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम्
मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितम्
परं भावमजानन्तो
परं भावमजानन्तो
मम भूतमहेश्वरम्
मम भूतमहेश्वरम्
मोघाशामोघकर्माणो
मोघाशामोघकर्माणो
मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः
मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः
राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव
राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव
प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः
प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः
महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ
महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ
दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः
दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः
भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो
भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो
ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्
ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्
सततं कीर्तयन्तो माम्
सततं कीर्तयन्तो माम्
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये
ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये
यजन्तो मामुपासते
यजन्तो मामुपासते
एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन
एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन
बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्
बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम्
अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञस्
अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञस्
स्वधाहमहमौषधम्
स्वधाहमहमौषधम्
मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम्
मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम्
अहमग्निरहं हुतम्
अहमग्निरहं हुतम्
पिताहमस्य जगतो
पिताहमस्य जगतो
माता धाता पितामहः
माता धाता पितामहः
वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कार
वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कार
ऋक्सामयजुरेव च
ऋक्सामयजुरेव च
गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी
गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी
निवासः शरणं सुहृत्
निवासः शरणं सुहृत्
प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानन्
प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानन्
निधानं बीजमव्ययम्
निधानं बीजमव्ययम्
तपाम्यहमहं वर्षन्
तपाम्यहमहं वर्षन्
निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च
निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च
सदसच्चाहमर्जुन
सदसच्चाहमर्जुन
त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापा
त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापा
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते
यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा
Jai Shri Krishna,
स्वर्गतिं
everybody.
प्रार्थयन्ते
First of all, I would
Te
like to wish all the best
punyamasaad.
to all the participants who are going to appear for this Gītā Pāṭhak examination. Today we are going to do the 9th Adhyaya. It has got totally 34 shlokas. We'll start with the prayer. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. So we are going to do 9th Adhyaya today. It has totally got 34 shlokas. As and how the shlokas will come, I'll be explaining. So we start with Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Here you will see it is Shri. Please do not pronounce it as Sri. Okay. The next mistake that commonly we hear is Paramatmane. It is not partial ra. It is that ra has to be completely pronounced. Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Shrimad Bhagavad Gītā. Shrimad. The partial bha completely pronounced, and the g, it should not be pronounced as Shrimad Bhagavad Gītā. So the g becomes partial, whereas the g is completely pronounced. Shrimad Bhagavad Gītā Atha Navamo Dhyayaha. The first shloka. Shri Bhagawanuvacha. Shri Bhagawanuvacha. So here we see many people pronounce it as Bhagwan Nuvach. It is not the right way. You have to pronounce every alphabet perfectly. Shri Bhagawanuvacha. Idantu te guhyatamam pravakshyamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajyatva mokshyase shubhat. Idan tute. Tu is small pronunciation and te is long. So because the tu is small, just join it with the te. Do not pause, because if you tend to pause the tu, then the tu tends to become long. So see that you recite it together. Idan tu te is long pronunciation. Guhyatamam. Here you can see the ha is partial and the ya has to be completely pronounced. Okay, it should be heard as Guhyatamam Pravakshyamyanasuyave. Pravakshya. The ksha is partial here. Do not recite it as Pravakshayamyana. The ksha is partial and it is joined to ya. So Pravakshyamyana. Yamyana, that nurse should be completely pronounced. Suyave, long su, and the last way is also long. Jnanam. Now jya, it can be pronounced as gya, nya, na. However you have learned to pronounce this, please pronounce it in that manner only. Jnanam vijnana sahitam. Vijnana. So there is aghat. That aghat has to be perfectly taken, because as you all know, jya is a joint consonant. It is ja partial and iya, the nasal alphabet, complete. Vijnana sahitam yajyatva. Yaj, ja partial there. Yajyatva mokshyase shubhat. Mokshya. Here also you should notice that the ksha is partial. It is joined to ya. So that pronunciation should be clear. The ksha should be heard only partial and the ya has to be heard complete. Please do not make the mistake of pronouncing it as mokshaye, mokshaye. No, mokshaya. No, mokshya se shubhat. Bha is long and the ta at the end is partial. Okay. Yeah. We'll go to the next shloka. Rajavidya. Rajavidya. So here it is not vidya. It is vidya. V, and there is aghat. You can see the next alphabet partial the. The is partial there and it is joined to ya. It is simply pronounced it as Dya. Okay, Raja Vidya. Vidya. Aghat has to be perfectly taken. Raja Guhyam. Guhyam. Gu is short pronunciation, and here also you can see her is partial and ya is complete with an anuswara. Pavitramidamuttamam. Pavitra. Aghat on top of V should be perfectly taken because the next alphabet you can see it is the R joined together. Midamuttamam. Midamuttamam. Pavitramidamuttamam. There the th is double, so that pronunciation also should be heard properly. Pavitramidamuttamam. Pratyakshavagamam dharmyam. Pratyaksha. You can see aghat has to be taken perfectly. The next on pra, because the next alphabets are joined together. Pratyaksha. It is ksha. Please do not recite it as sha. Pratyaksha. Vagaman dharmyam. Dharmyam. Susukhang. Both the sus are partial here. Do not make it long. Susukhang. So fast you have to pronounce it like Susukhang. Kartumavyayam. Kartumavyayam. So that aghat on top of ma should be perfectly taken because the next alphabets, they are joint consonants, partial va and ya. So kartumavyayam. Please do not recite it as kartumavyayam. Mavyayam. No, that aghat should be taken perfectly. Okay. So sukhang kartumavyayam. Rajavidya rajaguhyam. Pavitramidamuttamam. Pratyakshavagaman dharmyam. Susukhang kartumavyayam. Go to the next. Ashraddhana Purusha. Ashraddha. So you can see there is aghat on top of a because the next alphabet you can see is shra, which is a joint consonant. So that aghat should be perfectly taken. Ashraddha. Ashraddha. And you can see there are two thas joined together there. Ashraddha dhana. The next dha is long pronunciation. So that has to go long. Dhana. So when you say na, there is visarga. Visarga, you have to exhale and get that little bit sound of pha. You have not to say dhana completely. Just exhale and get a little bit sound of that pha because the next word begins from pa. Purusha. Purusha. That sha also should be pronounced properly. It is not purusha. It is purusha. And both the pu and the ru are small pronunciation. Dharmasyasya. Dharmasyasya. Parantapa. Parantapa. Aghats perfectly taken. Aprapya. Manivartante. Aprapya. Aghat on a should be perfectly taken. Do not recite it as aprapya. No, that's very incorrect. That aghat should be taken perfectly. Aprapya. And that pya, when you say that ya also should be heard in clarity. Aprapya manivartante. Mrityu samsara vartmani. Mrityu samsara vartmani. So here you can see mr, ma is joined with the vowel r. So that there is aghat on top of mr because the next alphabets tyu. Okay, both are joint consonant with a small u pronunciation. And you can see samsara. There is aghat on top of sa. The next following alphabet is sa. So the pronunciation of that anuswara will be nasal alphabet partial v. Okay, nasal alphabet partial v. So mrityu samsara. Please do not pronounce it as samsara or sansara. That is incorrect. It should be pronounced as mrityu samsara vartmani, and it is not vartamani. That ta is partial there. So we have to pronounce the word, take the partial ra, vartmani. It has to come like that. And the last ni is short. So please keep it short. Do not take it as a long pronunciation. It should be recited as Mrityu Sansara Vartmani. Do not say it as Vartmani. No, it is Vartmani. Okay. Yeah. Maya tatamidam sarvai. Maya tata. Both the tas should be completely pronounced. It should not be read as tatmidam. It is tata. Completely pronounced both tas. Tatamidam. Midam. And the swara pronunciation partial ma. Sarvai. Sarvai. Nasal alphabet I is the pronunciation of that anuswara on top of va. Jagadavyakta Murtina. Jaga, both are completely pronounced. That aghat should be perfectly taken. Jagadavyakta Murtina. It is not Murtina, it is Murtina. Recite that mu long because it's a long pronunciation there. Matsthani. Matsthani. That ni is short. Do not recite it as Matsthani. No. The ni is short, so quickly end it there. Matsthani sarvabhutani. Here also the bhu has to go long and the ni should be kept short. Sarvabhutani nachahan. Nachahan. The na looks separate, but the na should be joined with the cha. Okay, there is no pausing after na chahan. Please do not recite it like that. It should be recited as na chahan teshva vasthitaha. Na chahan teshva vasthitaha. You can see te long and take the partial sh. Completely, that sh has to be perfectly recited. Not, it should not sound like teshva. It is not sh, it is the cerebral sh. So that should be heard properly. Teshva vasthitaha. Nachahan teshva vasthitaha. Both the aghats, the vasthitaha should be taken. Aghat, that there it has to be perfectly taken. Teshva vasthitaha. Yes. Go to the next. Nachamatthani bhutani. See, the na and the cha is separate, but you have to recite it together. Nacha, it should go like this. Nachamatthani. Matthani. You can see three alphabets are joined together there. Partial ta, partial sa, and the tha has to go long. Matthani, and the ni should be kept short. Do not recite it or stretch it long. Bhutani. Bhu has to go long. Ni should be kept short. Pashya me yogamaishwaram. Pashya. Aghat perfectly taken. It is not pashya. It is pashya. That ya should be heard in clarity. Ya is complete pronunciation there. Pashya me yogamaishwaram. Here the mai has to be, the ma is joined with the I vowel sound. So it has, an I is long pronunciation. So please do not recite it as yogameshwaram. No, it is yogamaishwaram. Maishwaram. Bhuta bhrinna. Bhuta bhrinna cha. You can see bhu is long. Br, bhuta, bhrinna. Double na there. So that pronunciation should be clear. Bhuta bhrinna cha. And the cha should join along with that. It is a small pronunciation. Bhuta bhrinna cha bhutastho. Bhutastho. Mamatma. Mamatma. Bhuta bhavanaha. Mamatma. Bhuta bhavanaha. The bha has to go long and the bhu has to go long. Okay, so it should be recited perfectly, and the visarga after na is pronounced as ha. Bhuta bhavanaha. Na chamatthani bhutani. Pashya me yogamaishwaram. भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थो ममात्मा भूतभावनः. Yes, we'll go to the next. यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यम् वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान्. Yatha kashasthito. Aghat on sh should be perfectly taken and the to is long pronunciation. Yatha kashasthito nityam. Nityam. Aghat on ni perfectly taken and the ya should be heard in clarity. Nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan. Mahana, no, the na is not complete there, it is partial. Vayu sarvatra go mahan. Tatha sarvani. Sarvani, here the ni is short, do not stretch it, do not pronounce it as sarvani, no, it should be properly pronounced as sarvani bhutani. Here also you can see bhu long, ta long, and ni should be kept short. Do not take it long like bhutani. No, please do not make that mistake. You have to recite it. Tatha sarvani bhutani matsthani tyupadharaya. Matsthani. Here please see that ni is pronounced long. It is not short ni, it is a long ni. So it has to go ni tyupa, and you can see ni long and the next alphabets are joined together. Partial ta is joined to u small. Okay, small pronunciation. So matsthani tyupa. Please do not recite it as matsthani tyupa. It's a very wrong pronunciation. Matsthani tyupa dharaya. Dharaya. That ya should be completely pronounced, not dharai. It is dharaya. Yes. Yatha kashasthito nityam vayu sarvatra go mahan. Tatha sarvani bhutani matsthani tyupadharaya. Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam. So here you can see sarvabhutani. Bhu long, again the last ni is short. Kaunteya. You can see cow is a long pronunciation. Please do not recite it as ko. It is cow. Kaun, partial na, kaunteya. You can see the ya and you can see there is aghat on top of ya. So when you recite the whole shloka together, you have to take that aghat on ya. That is, when you recite it together, it should be like this. Sarva bhutani kaunteya. You will take that partial pa of the next word. Okay. Kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam. Okay, that aghat should be perfectly taken when you're reciting the whole shloka. So once again, sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim. Prakritim, you can see prakr, joint letter prakr is ka with the ru swara joint over there, vowel joint there, and tim. It is not prakritim, it is prakritim. Yanti mamikam kalpakshaye. Kalpakshaye punastani kalpadau visrujamyaham. So here you have to keep in mind kalpakshaye. Pakshaye, both the aghat should be perfectly taken, kal and pakshaye. So it should not sound like kal pakshaye. No, that aghat should be heard properly. That stress has to be done properly on those alphabets. Kal pakshaye punastani kalpadau. Dau, long pronunciation. Please do not recite it as kalpado. It is kalpadau. Visrajamyaham. Visra, vi and sr. That's sir is joined with ru swara, vowel over there. Visrajamyaham. Jamya. Okay. Jamyaham. Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpadau visrajamyaham prakritim swamavashtabhya prakritim. Here you can see prakritim, not prakritim. It should be recited as prakritim. Swama, it is swama. There you can see the ma should be completely pronounced. Vashtabhya, so it should be swama vashtabhya, not swam vashtabhya. That ma should be completely pronounced. Swama vashtabhya, both the aghat should be perfectly taken on va as well as on ta. Visrajami. Now, many people make the mistake of giving that aghat on top of visr, visrajami. So there is no aghat there and there is no stress on that V. You have to recite it as visrajami. Okay? Visrajami. Punah, punaha, punah, punaha. There, after puna, you have to exhale and get the little bit sound like pa. Okay? Punah, punaha, bhutagramamimam kritsnam, bhu, long. It is not bhutak, it is bhutak, bhutagrama. So that aghat on top of ta should be perfectly taken because the next alphabets, gra, join consonants, gara, join together with a long vowel sound. Bhutagramamimam. Mami mang, that ma has to be completely pronounced. Grama, do not recite it as gramimam. Okay, it is bhuta gramamimam kritsnam, kritsnam. Here also kr, and next you can see partial ta, partial sa, and na complete. Kritsnam. So many people make a mistake over here, but see that you pronounce it properly. It is kritsnam. Okay, kritsnam. Avasham, avasham, prakriter vashat, prakriter vashat. That te has to go along there, and sha also has to go along, and the last ta is partial. Shata, no, shat. Prakritim swamavashtabhya visrajami punah punaha bhutagramamimam kritsnam avasham prakriter vashat. Yes. Nachamantani karmani. Nacha, together. Though it looks separate, it has to be recited together. Do not recite it as Nachaman, no. Nachaman, it has to go together. Tani, tani, no. The ni is short there. Tani karmani, karmani. There also the ni is short. The charan is ending. Do not stretch that ni long. Okay. Tani karmani, nibadhnanti. Nibadhnanti, here ni short, ba aghat is there. You can see next alphabets dha and na. So that dha should be perfectly taken. Nibadh and then nanti. Dhanain jaya, dhanain jaya. Udasinavadasinam. The whole charan is like one word. So udasina, that na is complete there. Okay, please do not recite it as udasinvadasinam. That na should be completely pronounced. Udasinavadasinam asaktanteshu karmasu. Teshu, teshu karmasu. न च मान्तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तन्तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिस् मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिस्. So here you have to see, when you recite, all the aghats should be perfectly taken. Mayadhyakshena prakritis, prakritis suyate. So the visarga rule, I hope everybody know. When there is a visarga and the next word begins from sa, sh, that first alphabet will come in front of the visarga. Okay. Mayadhyakshena prakritis suyate. Suyate, not suyate. Suyate sacharacharam hetu nanena. Please pronounce all the nas perfectly. Hetu nanena. That na should be completely pronounced. Okay. Kaunteya. Kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. Jagadvi, aghat on top of ga should be perfectly taken. Jagadvi parivartate. Mayadhyakshena prakritis suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. Avajananti mamudha. Here you have to keep in mind that nanti should be perfectly taken, aghat on top of na, and mam. It is not mama. Here the anuswara pronunciation is partial ma. So mam. Mudha, not muda. It is not the da, it is dha. So that pronunciation should be good. Mudha manushin tanumashritam. Manu, no short and she long. Okay. Manushin tanumashritam param bhavamajananto. Param vama completely should be pronounced. Jananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Mama completely pronounced, not mum. It should not be pronounced as mum. It is mama, completely pronounced. Mama bhuta maheshwaram avajananti mamudha manushin tanumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram moghasha mogha karmano moghasha mogha karmano moghajnana moghajnana. However you pronounce the nya, jya, gya, everything is fine, but you have to take that perfect aghat. Moghajnana vichetasah rakshasi masurin chaiva. Rakshasi, here you have to see that C is long, keep that long. Masurin, Masurin, the last Ri is also long, so that has to be kept long when you're reciting the shloka. Do not make it small. Rakshasi Masurin Chaiva Prakritim Mohinim Shritaha. Prakritim Chaiva. When you're reciting the whole shloka, try to take that aghat on top of va. Okay. Chaiva. It has to come like that. The chai is long. Do not recite it as che. It is an I vowel sound. So chaiva has to be taken perfectly. Chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha. The ni is long, so keep it long. Mohinim shritaha. Before the visarga, it is ta. So the visarga pronunciation should be properly pronounced as ha. Shritaha, do not say Shritaha. Yes. Mahatmanastu mam partha. Mahatmanastu. Aghat should be perfectly taken. Mam partha. Daivim. So here many people make mistake. Devim. No, it is not Devim. It should not be pronounced Devim. It is Dai, long pronunciation, and Veem. So when you are reciting the shloka, if this shloka comes for you, please recite it perfectly. Daivim. It is both the pronunciations are long. Daivim prakriti ma shritaha. Prakriti, that T is short there. Prakriti ma shritaha. Bhajantya nanya manaso. Bhajantya nanya manaso. Jyatva bhutadimavyayam. Jyatva bhutadimavyayam. Here that aghat on top of ma should be perfectly taken, and that bhu has to go long. Do not recite it as bhutadi. Okay, bhutadimavyayam. Mahatmanastu mam partha. Daivim prakritimāśritaha. Bhajantyananya manaso. Jyatva bhutadimavyayam. Satatang kirtayanto mam. Satatang. Perfectly anuswara pronunciation of the anuswara on top of the is nasal alphabet ng, that has to come nicely. It should be heard well. Satatang kirtayanto mam. That ki is long. Do not recite it as kirta. It is kirta. Yanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha. Yatantascha dr. It is dr. It is the partial and joined with ru vowel sound. Dridhav. That aghat on top of dha should be perfectly taken. Dridhavrataha. Namas. Namas yantascha. All the three aghat should be taken perfectly. Namas yantascha mam bhaktya. Bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Satatang kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Jnana yajnena chapyanye. Here you have to keep in mind the aghat should be perfectly taken. Jnana yajnena. That jya, however you pronounce it that way only. But see that you take that aghat perfectly. Jnana yajnena. That na at the end should be completely pronounced. Chapyanye. Chapyanye. Yan ye. That ye also should be pronounced properly. Yajanto mamupasate. Ekatvena. Ekatvena. Aghat on top of ka. Ekatvena. That way is long, so do not be in a hurry. Ekatvena. No. Ekatvena. And the na is completely pronounced there. Prathatvena. Prathatvena. Here the na should be completely pronounced. Please do not recite it as Prathaktven. No. Tvena. Bahudha vishvato mukham. Jnana yajnena chapyanye. Yajanto mamupasate. Ekatvena prathaktven bahudha vishvato mukham. Ahang kraturaham yajyas. Ahang. Perfectly take that aghat, the anuswara pronunciation. Ahang kraturaham yajyas. Yajyas svadhahamaham aushadham. Swadhaha, that dha long, ha, ma, ha completely pronounced. Mau should be kept long. Mau, it is not mo, it is mau. Shadham, that sh also pronunciation should be in clarity. It should not be heard as sh. It should not be heard as maushadham. It is maushadham. Swadhahamaham mantrohama mantrohama hamevajyam. So here you can see mantro. Throw is long, there is avagraha, just a little bit more stretching, not too much, just a little bit. Mantrohamahame vajyam vajyam ahamagniraham hutam. Ahamagni, aghat on top of ma to take that partial ga which is joined to short ni. Magni, ahamagniraham hutam. Ahankraturaham yajyasvadhahamaham mantrohamahame vajyam ahamagniraham hutam. Yes. Pitahamasya jagato. Pitaha, that her completely pronounced. Pitahamasya jagato. Mata dhata pita mahaha. Mata dhata pita mahaha. Vedyam. Vedyam. Do not recite it as Vedyam. It is not Dhyam. It is just Dhyam. Vedyam pavitram omkara. Pavitra. Perfectly take that aghat. Pavitram omkara. That ra should be completely pronounced. Do not say as pavitram omkar. It is pavitram omkara. Ruksama. Ruksama. Many people recite it as ruksam. But that here, the ma is not partial. The ma has to be completely pronounced. Ruksama yajure vacha. Yajure vacha. Pitahamasya jagato. Mata dhata pita mahaha. Vedyam pavitram omkara. Ruksama yajure vacha. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi. Sakshi, long she there. Nivasa sharanam suhrut. Nivasa sharanam suhrut. Here, suhrut. Su small pronunciation. Her is partial and the ru is complete. So do not recite it as suhrut. 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 It is suhrut together. Okay. Only her, little bit her, and ru complete. So, suhrut. Prabhavah pralayasthanan. Prabhavah pralayasthanan. Nidhanam bijamavyayam. Nidhanam bija. The ja is complete there. It is not bijamavyayam. It is bija, and the b also has to go along. Bijamavyayam. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi. Nivasa sharanam suhrut. Prabhava pralayasthanan. Nidhanam bijamavyayam. Tapamyahamaham varshan. Tapamyahamaham. Perfectly you have to recite that. Tapamya hamaham varshan. Varshan. Nigrana. Nigrana. Nigr. Ni short. Gr. Her partial, and it is joined to complete na. But the na again has a long vowel sound there. So nigrana. And do not recite it as nigr. There is no aghat on top of ni. It is nigr. Okay, not nigr. It is nigrana. Myut srijamicha. Myut. Myut. You can see ma, you, ma, and is joined to, partial ma is joined to u short, and Again, there is aghat on top of you to take the partial ta, which is joined to partial sa, which is joined to the ru vowel sound. So, nigruna myutsr, myutsr, jamicha, jamicha. That cha should come along with the me. Nigruna myutsr, jamicha, amrutain chaiva mrityuscha, amrutain chaiva. Chaiva, not cheva, chaiva. Mrityuscha. Sada satchaham Arjuna. Sada satcha. Double cha there. So pronounce it properly. Sada satchaham Arjuna. Tapamyaham varshan. Nigrunamyutsrujamicha. Amrutain chaiva mrityuscha. Sadasachaham Arjuna. Now here is the Trishtup shloka. Traividya mam somapah puta papa. Traividya mam somapah puta papa. Puta. It has to go long, pu and papa. The should be completely pronounced in the middle. Puta papa. Yajyai rishtva. Yajyai. Aghat should be taken perfectly. Yajyai rishtva. Rishtva. Swarga. Yajyai rishtva. Swargatim. Swargatim prarthayante. Te punyamasadya surendralokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. So again, trai vidya, trai, it's not tre, it should be recited it as trai vidya. Mam somapah puta papa yajyai rishtva swargatim prarthayante. Te punyamasadya surendralokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Yes. We'll go to the next year. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalang kshine punye martyalokam vishanti evan trayi dharma manuprapanna gata gatang kama kama labhante. Te tam, te long first, okay? Do not make it short. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalang kshine. You have to note when you recite this, kshi. It is not shine, it is kshine. Both are long pronunciations. Kshine punye. It's not punne, it is punye. That ye should come in clarity. Punye martyalokam vishanti. Vishanti, do not make that ti long there. Vishanti, no. Vishanti. Evan, a is dirgha long pronunciation, so take it long. Evan trayi dharma, not trayi dharma. That ye is long over there. Trayi dharma manuk. Manuk, that aghat on top of nu should be perfectly taken. Do not recite it as manuprapanna. Manuprapanna. That na, double na also has to be pronounced properly. So, evan trayi dharma manuprapanna gata gatang kama kama labhante. Ananyashchintayanto mam. Ananyash. Here that aghat should be taken perfectly. Ananyash, yash, and then chinta, chinta, yanto mam. Ananyash, chinta, yanto mam. Ye janah paryupasate teshan nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam. See that you do not miss out on that aghat on top of ga. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate teshan nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Yepyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha. Ye pyanya, ye has to be taken long properly. Ye pyanya, pyanya. Aghat on top of yo should also not be missed. Ye pyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha. That last ta, that ta is long, so the visarga pronunciation has also to be ha perfectly pronounced. Tepi, tepi, p is short there, do not make the p tepi, no. Tepi, mameva, kaunteya, kau, not ko, kaunteya, that ya should be pronounced completely. Yajantya, yajantya vidhi purvakam. Yajantya vidhi, both the V and the D are short, so keep it short. Yajantya vidhi purvakam. Yepyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha. Tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. Aham hi sarvayakshyanam. Aham hi. So that he is short there. Aham hi, no. Aham hi. You have to take it together and immediately go to the next word. Aham hi sarvayajyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. Do not miss that aghat on top of cha. Chap. It has to go like that. Bhokta cha prabhurevacha. Prabhurevacha. That last cha should come along with the prabhurevacha. Natu mam abhijananti. Natu together. Natu should be recited together. Natu mam bhijananti. Here many mistakes is mam bhijananti. It is not mam, it is mama. Mama bhijananti tattvena tascha vantite. Tattvena tascha vantite. Aham hi sarvayakshyanam bhokta cha prabhurevacha. Natu mam abhijananti tattvena tascha vantite. Yanti devavrita devan. Yanti devavrita. That aghat should be taken perfectly. Devan. Pitrunyanti. Pitru. Only here you have to keep in mind it is through. It is dirgha through. P is short, but the through has to go a little bit long because the ru you can see it is double. So that it is a long pronunciation. So do not recite it as Pitrunyanti. Very incorrect it is. It has to go like this. Pitrunyanti. Pitravrataha. Pitravrataha. Here you can see the Ruswara here. is small. It is small pronunciation. Pitra and Aghat is there on top of Tru. That has to be taken perfectly. Pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopimam. The whole shloka again. Yanti devavrita devan pitrunyanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopimam. Patram pushpam phalantoyam. So here you have to keep in mind the aghats as well as the anuswara pronunciations. Patram pushpam phalantoyam. Yo me, both are long pronunciation, do not make it small. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. The T is short, so keep it short there. Tadaham bhaktyu pahrutam bhaktyu ashnami prayatatmanah. Ashnamip, that aghat is important. Do not miss that. You have to take that aghat on top of me, the partial per next. Ashnamip prayatatmanah. Patram pushpam phalantoyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyu ashnamip prayatatmanah. Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Yat karoshi. All the she is short there. Yadashnasi. Here also the C is short. That aghat should be perfectly taken on top of the yajjuhoshi. Yajjuhoshi dadasiyat. So here yajju, double j and a small u vowel sound. Yajjuhoshi. Hoshi, shi, small there. Dadasiyat. Yata no, yat. Yat tapasyasi. Yat tapasyasi. So aghat on top of per should be perfectly taken. And yat tapasyasi. That also should be perfectly recited. Kaunteya tatkurushva. Tatkurushva. Here keep in mind the ku and the ru both are small pronunciations. Do not elongate it. Tatkurushva madarpanam. Madarpanam. Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Yajjuhoshi dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya. Tatkurushva. Kurushva madarpanam. Shubha Shubha Phalairevam. So here keep in mind, shu, both the shoes are short pronunciations. Shubha, Shubha, that bha should be completely pronounced, and then Phalai, that lai, it is I pronunciation long, so keep it long. Phalairevam mokshyase karma bandhanaihi. Mokshyase karma bandhanai. Nai. So before the visarga, the pronunciation is nai. So the visarga pronunciation will be short hi. Karma bandhanai. That nai has to go long, and then visarga pronunciation hi. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma. Sannyasa. Sa completely pronounced there. Yoga yuktatma vimukto mamupaishyasi. Mamupaishyasi. That C is short. Do not elongate it towards the end. Do not recite it as mamupaishyasi. No. Mamupaishyasi. Shubha Shubha Phalairevam Mokshase Karma Bandhanaihi. Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mamupaishyasi. Samoham. Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priyaha na me dve, please pronounce that properly, dve, partial the, complete way, dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. That has to be that bhaktya, not bhaktya, it is bhaktya. Mayite, mayi. Please do not pronounce it as mayi. It is mayi, ya, with a small e vowel sound. Mayite, teshu chapyaham. Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayite teshu chapyaham api chet suduracharo. So when you recite the shloka, keep in mind it is api, not api. Api, short, okay? The P is short. And together immediately go to the next word. Api chetsu duracharo bhajate mamananya bhak. Mamananya bhak. Nanya. Bhak. The last ka is partial. Sadhureva samantavyas. Sadhureva sa, together versa. Sadhureva samantavyas samyak vyavasito hisaha. Samyak, so perfectly take that aghat on top of sa. Samyak, okay? Samyak vyavasito, long to, hisaha, that he is short, keep it short and take the sa together. Hisaha. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavyas samyak vyavasito hisaha. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Kshipram. Please pronounce this ksha properly. It is not shipram. Many make a mistake like that. Shipram. It is not shipram. It is kshi. Kshi. Kshipram bhavati. T is short there. Bhavati dharmatma. Shashvachantin. Shashvash. Shashvach. Okay, that both the akhat should be perfectly taken there. It is slightly on the difficult side, but when you recite and practice it, you'll get it. Shashvachantin. Shashvachantin nigachati. Nigachati. The last T is short. Kaunteya pratijanihi. Kaunteya. You can see after reciting Kaunteya on here, there is aghat that should be perfectly taken. Kaunteya, because the next word is pra, join consonant. So Kaunteya prati, yaprati janihi. Here ja and ni is long, do not make it short. Janihi, that he is short. Name bhakta pranashyati. Name bhakta pranashyati. When you say pranashyati, it is not pranashyati, it is pranashyati. Okay, the T is short there. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantin nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Mam hi parthavya pashritya. Mam hi, that he is short pronunciation. So together, mam hi partha. Take that partha together along with it. Mam hi parthav. Now on partha, you can see there is agat. Please do not miss that. That is to take the partial verb and the vya which starts in the next word. Mam hi parthavya pashritya ye pisyuh. Ye pisyuh. One more time. Ye long, p short, and take the partial sir, which is joined to you there. Ye pisyuh papayo nayaha. Striyo, striyo, stri short, yo, take it long. Striyo vaishyas tatha shudras. Striyo vaishyas tatha shudras. It is not shudras. Okay, so you think there is aghat there, so you're in a hurry to take that aghat. Please do not do that because the shu is long. So first pronounce the shu long and then take that aghat. Shudras te piyanti parangatim. Te piyanti parangatim. Mam hi parthavya pashritya ye pisyuh papayo nayaha. Striyo vaishyas tatha shudras te piyanti parangatim. Kim punar brahmana punya. Kim and then punar brahma. Brahma. Bra is long, partial ha. Do not say brahma. It is brahma. Bra long and then partial ha, complete ma. Kim punar brahmana. Na and then exhale and get the sound of little bit sound like partial pa. Kim punar brahmana punya. Punya, that ya has to go along. Punya bhakta rajarshyastatha. Bhakta rajarshyastatha. Anityam sukham lokam. Anitya, nitya. Aghat should be perfectly taken there. Do not miss that. Anityam sukham lokam. Imam prapya bhajasvamam. Imam prapya bhajasvamam. Kim punar brahmana punya. Bhakta rajarshyastatha. Anityam sukham lokam. Imam prapya bhajasvamam. Manmana bhava madbhakto. Manmana bhava, completely pronounced. Bhav, no, bhava. Madbhakto. Madhyaji manamaskuru. Madhyaji manamaskuru. Note that the ku and the ru is short. Do not stretch it. Mame vaishyasi. Mame vai. All the first three alphabets are long. Keep it long. Do not make it short. Mame vaishyasi yuktvai vam. Yuktvai. Okay. Yuktvai vam. Atmanam matparayanaha. Atmanam matparayanaha. Manmana bhava madbhakto. Madhyaji manamaskuru. Mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam. Atmanam matparayanaha. The Pushpika, which is the conclusion. Om Tat Saditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gītā Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Please note, it is Samvade. Nasal, the Anuswara pronunciation here is nasal verb. Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yogo Nama. Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yogo Nama. Navamoऽധ്यायः. Om Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Yes. So was it everybody heard it properly? I hope you all don't make any mistakes. Please recite properly in front of your examiner. Do not get nervous. Any questions? Anybody has any questions to ask? Nobody has any doubts?
We have to display mark sheet or not?
Yeah, please. Yeah, Savita ji has some doubt. Yes, Savita ji. Thank you. Yes, Savita ji.
Okay, yes, sorry.
Yeah, please.
Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Yes, Didi, 20 shlokas.
Yeah, Deepak, can you please put the 20th shloka?
Ma'am, can I read it?
Yeah.
I
Deepak,
have
can you
doubt
just
in
20th shloka?
in second churn.
Yeah. Deepak, can you put that slide if possible? Just a minute. I'm sharing the slide.
Okay.
Yes, please. What is your doubt, Savita ji?
Yes, ma'am, in the second churn.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can I read?
Yeah, please recite it.
Okay. Traividya mam somapa.
No. Please stop. It is not mama. Do not pronounce that. It is just the anuswara pronunciation, partial ma. So it has to be like Traividya mam. Please recite.
Mam.
Yeah.
Okay. Traividya mam somapa put papa yagyairištva swargatim prarthayante te punyamasadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan.
Yes.
Second turn,
Yeah.
yagyairištva, is it right?
Yagya. If you are pronouncing the gya, that gya
Yes,
or
gya.
nya, how gya? So you can
Gya.
recite it as Yagyairištva. Yagyairištva. Please pronounce one more time.
Yagyairištva. Ristvas. Yagyairištva.
Rishtwas. Yeah, you can take it like that. Yagyairištva swargatim. Recite.
Yeah. Swargatim prarthayante.
Yes, very nice.
Okay.
All the
Thank
best,
you, ma'am.
Savita ji, for your exam.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Somebody else? Yeah, Vijay Lakshmi ji. Deepak, unmute Vijay Lakshmi ji. All the best, Savita ji, for your exam.
Thank
Please
you.
do not be nervous. Very
Thank you.
confidently you can recite.
Okay.
मैडम
Yes.
14th श्लोका में
Yes.
मया
Vijay Lakshmi ji.
तत्तमितं सर्वैन् सर्वन्.
See, it is a partial nasal alphabet nya. Okay, so not too much of nya and not too much of na also. So sarvai. Please recite that. Tata. Please recite that.
मया तत्तमितं सर्वैन्. Yeah.
Sarvai. You can go like that. Sarvai.
Sarvain.
Yeah. Continue. Just recite that.
Maya tatamidam sarvain jagadavyaktamurtina
Jagadavyakta. That aghat you take properly. Jagadavyakta.
Jagadavyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhutani nachahan teshvavastitah.
Very nice. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good preparation. Anybody else?
Manjunath Didi. I am from
Yes.
Bangalore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, I am 65 years old.
Yes.
November 20th, we had this Gītā Jitnasu. I participated and passed it.
Haha.
Now, actually,
Congratulations.
I thought of because of 3 chapters.
So you are already experienced with Gītā Jigyasu.
Yeah, that is there. But now I'm finding it very difficult because I had a December shoulder surgery. So I'm going on with a sling and all to the physiotherapy and all. I'm not able to find time. But 10 days we'll be able to do all the 3.
Of course. You have done the first 3 adhyaya. Then what is the problem with the next 2?
But I'm not able to memorize these.
Keep on.
It's not possible. It's not possible. I don't know.
No. Why it is not possible? When the Jigyasu was possible for you, then why the Pāṭhak is not possible for you? You are just feeling it's not possible. If you keep on reciting it, you will memorize it.
No, any tips? I just wanted to know because I'm already 65 years old.
No, that age, you are very young. You are not old at all. So what you have to do is, you have to keep on reciting it. Just keep on practicing it in your mind also. 3-4 times, if you recite each shloka, that you will memorize it.
But I found all the 3 chapters very easy to by heart.
That is because they had less number of shlokas. Maybe that is
20,
why.
21, 22, 4.
Yeah. But do not worry about it. Even the examiners, they are not that very strict and they will give you cue. They will help you out also. That is no worry about it. But you should memorize it by reciting each shloka minimum 4 to 5 times. Each shloka. So that will, and keeping on memorizing, the more you recite, the more you memorize it. So you keep on listening to the audios that we are sending to you. So keep on listening to that, recite along with it. So that will all help you to memorize it better. And do not worry about your age or your surgery or anything. You can do it, okay? Manjunatha ji, all the best to you.
Thank you.
Yes. So as you know, you can see the pattern on the screen. Already you all have done the Gītā Jigyasu, so you are familiar with this pattern. But there you did only 3 adhyayas. Here you have to do 6 adhyayas. And it goes the same way. There will be 3 shlokas asked from each adhyaya. 3, no, I think 4 shlokas will be asked from each adhyaya. How it goes, it is, first you have to memorize the 6 adhyayas names of all the adhyayas. Then the first shloka, as you have done in Gītā Jigyasu, all the first shlokas of all the adhyayas you have to memorize. And then there's totally 6 shlokas. 6 shlokas are asked totally. So from the first part, now in this there are 34 shlokas in the 9th adhyaya. So you can see it will maybe distributed by 11 shlokas of one part, 11 shlokas of next part, and 12 shlokas on the third part. So from the first 11 shlokas, any 2 shlokas you have to recite as you know, one charana will be recited by the examiner. You have to say, recite that shloka and the following shloka. So I think you all will be doing great with those. You all have memorized it well. So all the best to you. And totally there will be 6 shlokas asked. You have to memorize only 6 means you have to recite only 6 shlokas. And each 2 shlokas will be marked 8 marks each for 2 shlokas. That is 4 marks for each shloka, 8 marks for 2 shloka. So it will be marked like that. And then you see your anuswara, visarga, all this, if you have that in clarity, that full 5 marks is yours. It will not go anywhere. So please, that is why we say you have to pay attention on the anuswara and visarga pronunciation. So that will be noted, how you recite it. And then you can see there is another 8 marks given for your rhythm, how you recite it, and the clarity of your pronunciation. So for that also 8 marks is given. So totally it is about 192 marks along with the adhyaya's name and first shloka and the 6 shlokas together. You can see totally it is 48 marks. And I think minimum you have to get at least 16 marks. So every adhyaya you have to do well, minimum 16 marks, I think. So you have to get, but you all are all, I hope you all are all, recite it well and have memorized it well. So sure to get that 200 out of 200. Always aim for 200 out of 200. Please do not get nervous or anything. You all will do great. Okay. So since you all have already by hearted the 12th, 15th, and the 16th, you have to just by heart the 9th, 14th, and the 17th. So I think that will be great. You all will do very nice. So anybody has any doubts on that? Please do not be nervous. All please be confident when you go into your examination room and recite it very nicely, and you'll all will pass and get good marks. Okay, wishing you all the very best to each one of you. Can we recite? If anybody doesn't have a doubt, I think we can end it with the prayer. Deepak. All are welcome and all the best. Wishing you all the best for the exams. Deepak, can we recite? Can I recite the prayer? If anybody doesn't have any doubt.
Didi.
Yeah. Yogesham Satchidanandam Vasudevam Brajapriyam Dharma Samsthapakam Virang Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna.